You're listening to the Daily Sales Tips podcast, and I'm your host, Scott Ingram. We're almost through with our countdown of the top 6 tips from the last 6 months. Here's number 2. You're listening to the Daily Sales Tips podcast, and I'm your host, Scott Ingram. Today's tip comes from David Milo. David is the current head of sales at Sauna, a startup based here in Austin that saw 10x growth last year. Here he is.
Hey everyone, this is David Milo with your daily sales tip. I'm going to be covering objection handling and giving you 6 key steps to getting over any objection. Objection handling is one of those lost arts that I see among SDRs and account executives. So if you're having some difficulties setting those appointments or getting deals right across the line, following these 6 steps will definitely make an impact on your commission and on how well you do. So step 1, listen. Just listen to your prospect, right? There's a lot of bad feelings and bad emotions that your prospect is having. You've got to let them get that out of their system. Another great reason for listening is you're uncovering more and more objections. Brian Tracy says that the best salespeople question skillfully and listen carefully. So make sure you're listening to your prospect. Number 2, empathize. Empathize with your prospect. You've got to be able to lower their walls, make them a little bit more open to hearing what you're going to say. When someone gives you a no, their walls are very, very high. They're constrained, their emotions are tight, right? You've got to be able to empathize with someone. And the more tailored that you can make that, the better off you're going to be. Step 3 goes hand in hand with empathizing with your prospect. That's relating. So making sure that your prospect knows that they're not alone, that they're not the first person that have had the objections or feelings that they have. You've got to convey to them that you have worked with other prospects just like them, help them overcome their objections, and that they've become great clients of yours. Step 4 are softening language statements. So softening language statements are again, a great way to continue to lower walls. They're a great way to set up what you're about to say next, because you're about to hit your prospect with some logic that's going to overcome their objection, but you've got to soften the blow just a little bit. So some good examples of softening language statements are, here's my thought process. I could be wrong here. I might be way off base. So a great thing you can do is also combine softening language statements. For example, here's my thought process. I could be way off base here, but so softening language statements are great. Step 5, you are now finally into getting into your logic. It's your point. It's that 1 or 2 or 3 things that you have in your bag to overcome that objection. The interesting thing is, though, there's 4 steps that go before your logic, and it's critical. As a salesperson, you've got to be patient. You already know the answer. Whatever objection you're getting from your prospect, you've probably heard it a million times, and you know exactly how to respond. But hitting them with your logic too early isn't going to help you out because you haven't opened up their ears to listening to you. So step 5, only after listening, only after empathizing, after relating, and after using softening language statements is now your logic. Once you've given your logic, step 6, the final step, is closing. Progress and move the phone call forward. I hope this helps. Try, practice these in your daily sales life, and I'm sure they're going to have a big impact on your commission. Thanks.
You'll find a link to connect with David on LinkedIn at dailysales.tips/363. And on that page, you'll also find a link to Sauna, where they're actively growing their headcount and looking to hire for marketing, sales, operations, and support positions. Definitely worth checking out if you're looking to ride a rocket ship. Again, those links are at dailysales.tips/363. Then be sure to come back tomorrow for another great sales tip.